Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Jarrell here.
And I'm Josh, and today we're here to review episode 6 of The Walking Dead Season 11. Are you ready to discuss the most scary, disturbing, and outright crazy
Tell us where they are.
episode?
Yeah, it was one of the best, we think, so far. And a lot of you guys have already mentioned the comments from our reaction. It's one of the best. It's amazing. Yeah, let's get into this. You got the horror feel, the whole thing with Connie and Virgil. They played the horror music. I loved that they cut the sound out so you can get the perspective.
I think
of
that
Connie.
made it crazier than... I think that made it more scary than the scenes that they had music.
Yeah.
It was just insane because you were in her realm. You had no idea what was going to happen and where it was coming from.
Yeah, it was extremely frightening because, I mean, you're just taking it from her perspective of how she feels. I mean, yes, she's been up for days. She could have hallucinated some things, but in the end, she wasn't hallucinating anything. She was telling the truth the whole time. What I really what I really wanted to know, and they did not give us this, is, what Virgil and Connie were doing on the road before we kind of found out what happened in the notebook, that they were being chased off. Now, what we kind of got what led them to that house. They were kind of led by these creature-type people who ended up to be kind of, in a way, like cannibals, that they lead people to the home to then lure them in and kill them so they can eat them.
You know, I don't think we really needed that, though. I mean, maybe you did, right?
Well, I think I think as a viewer, it's a plot hole that we.
I don't think it's a plot hole, though, because look at what she had pulled out. She pulled out a map to Alexandria, and she was like turning it and looking at it. It made it seem like they were lost.
Right.
Like he picked her up. He doesn't know where Alexandria is at.
Yeah.
He doesn't know where Michonne's from. And, look, this is a big place where they're at. So
True.
I think it's just essentially what we're assuming is that, look, we saw their campsite. She was completely lost. She was trying to get home.
She was. Yeah, she definitely was. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's just, I guess, from my perspective, I would.
You just want to see them camp?
Not that not just camp, but
I'm joking.
Kind
I'm
of.
giving you shit.
Yeah, no. I mean, not just them sitting there. I would say more of the Well, you can't really conversate with them. What she could write down to Virgil and say, "I'm trying to get to here." He would kind of say, "Well, I know Michonne." All this other stuff, but yes, it'd be hard to communicate with her, as we kind of saw, because if they don't have a pen and paper and writing, you can't really speak to that. But wow, did Virgil become a better character than what we thought he was going to be?
Man, he was it was light years better.
An amazing turnaround of Virgil in this episode to make him a better character than what we thought he was going to be.
No, he was light years ahead of what we saw in the previous episodes, and not that he was
not a bad guy.
No, well, he was.
He was.
But I don't know. I just really connected with him in this episode.
Yeah.
It
was I think it was the initial look that he gave Connie when we saw him last. He's looking down from the horse, and he just had this creeper look on his face.
You thought that he was maybe possibly going to revert back to who he was when Michonne first met him. He was unstable, and we thought that was going to be the case.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you got a sense that, and I think I said this during the review, that they made a very close connection in the time that they've been together so far.
Yeah, they really did. I loved his story, talking, as he was trying to tell Connie that if whatever happens, you need to go on because, I'm basically going to sacrifice my life for you because Michonne gave me a second chance to get away from the dark, and I'm going to do it. And I love that, of course, hearing Michonne's name, but I love that Michonne had such a big impact on him to change him to who he was, where he was slipping away because he lost his family.
Yeah. Well,
to come back.
Look at the parallels, or the differences, right? Like when he was with Michonne, he was willing to take lives, and now he's willing to risk his own life to save Connie. It was, I thought it was great, and
the reunion at the end.
The reunion was
Kelly.
Well. I mean, you saw us.
Oh yeah, crying.
Got the feels.
We had tears. It was very impactful. We knew it was coming, but what they glossed over was, we needed this reunion, but there's also a man bleeding out of frame. We have no idea what's going to happen. As far as we know,
I think he's going to.
I mean, he was stabbed, so it really depends
twice,
on.
I think.
2 or 3 times. It just really depends on if if the blades hit any critical organs, or if they're able to patch him up, and he'll be, take him back to Alexandria, patch him up, he'll be fine. But it was just funny that we got the reunion that we wanted while a man is bleeding to death, potentially underneath. But
these cannibals were freaky. Dude.
They were freaky. Yeah. We're hungry. Yeah. Like, we didn't even think they were going to be able to speak, But just, they're so dirty and grimy. They have sores on them. They're just, what made them crawl on all fours to be like that?
Well, you heard Virgil say these people are really lost, like the worst he's ever seen.
Yeah.
And, gosh, that's what? 10 plus years.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're in year 12 now.
12 some years that you're like that. I mean, really far gone.
Just like how we have the Whisperers who were, trying to basically say that, the Walkers are the new world. We want to be like them. This kind of group was probably the same way. They were like, we're going to change. We're going to become what we think humans are supposed to be in this new world. And that's maybe what they became.
But
I don't know.
What's surprising about that is typically, look, I'm no expert in cannibalism, but if you're hungry enough, you start eating each other. Mm-hmm. So I'm surprised that group
they didn't eat each other.
Yeah.
Maybe they had a bump.
Maybe they had more.
They just had a truce.
Or maybe they had more.
Maybe they had more, yeah. So that piece was awesome. Man, the Pope and Daryl. I'm so afraid for Daryl right now.
I am too, but you know what? I think it's a ploy by Pope. Let's get a little bit into what happened. I think that Daryl's actions and how he played that whole scene, how he just played. I forgot the guy's name. Not Frost.
Oh, the guy that keeps giving him shit.
The other guy behind him.
I can't remember his name.
One of the Reapers.
Yeah.
The way he played the Reapers, except for Pope, is amazing. And I think the one thing that Daryl failed to do, I'm going to say it, kill Frost. Like, I think that, obviously Daryl's not one to do that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But honestly, we saw he probably should have, because who knows what Pope knows.
Yeah, and I mean, as you could tell, we were watching that scene with Daryl in there. The one guy had a gun in his hand. And Daryl knew he did, or the guy, or actually Frost told him he did. So it was kind of like, if Daryl doesn't do something, they're going to kill him, because they're basically testing him to see really if Daryl is going to do this or if he's trying to lie. You know what I mean? So
it was just great to see. It's not just Daryl in this situation. We really got to give credit where credit's due, and that's Frost. I mean, that dude pretty much saved Daryl's life on multiple occasions.
That dude was
risked his life.
Tortured. Yeah, absolutely tortured, and didn't say a
word. Who knows
word.
what Pope did to him?
Oh, don't even want to know.
That fingernail scene.
Dude, I could not believe we saw that.
I'm queasy when it comes to that kind of stuff.
I can't stand.
I'm
that.
a baby.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I would say the fingernail scene was worse for me than when Daryl cut his finger off.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. 100%. I know what it feels like to have to pull a nail out.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's not,
it was crazy, man. You could see, though, when definitely when they were in the house where Daryl was, giving the signals to Maggie, and they're underneath the floor, and they're Daryl's like, oh, they got 20 guys at your place, giving the details so Maggie can hear how many people they have left. Now, first we thought they said 15, maybe that was just Daryl counting. There was maybe others that he finally
I think
knew.
It was Daryl fishing.
Yeah.
When he was talking to Leah the first time.
Yeah.
And then he was able to get out and confirm it's 20.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
It was great
that we got that. But another thing that was amazing about that scene was him talking to Leah.
I'm here for you.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about any of these other guys. I'm here for you. I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That was amazing.
Yeah. Now to the people below them, they have no idea who he's talking to. They don't know who Leah is.
Yeah, Carol does.
But these guys
Carol's
don't.
Not there.
Now they're just going to assume, okay, Daryl knows this woman. From some point, we're just going to trust Daryl.
Do you think we're going to get a scene where Maggie and them return to Alexandria to tell the other group? Or they're going to return. We know they return.
They got to go see Alden quick.
But do you think that they let Carol know what's going on with Daryl?
Maybe. I don't know. You would think they would want to, because they're going to need more people to help, because that's the thing. Without proper communication, they don't know exactly what Daryl is trying to do. He's going to try to do things from the inside, but for how long? Now with the information that Pope has, whatever it is, he was giving a very big smirk to Daryl, and then he was whispering to the other guy, and then they both looked back at Daryl laughing. Did Frost finally break and
I don't think
give
so.
that information
I
up?
really don't. I think Frost, at least from what we saw, took it to his grave.
Took it to his grave.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and I think this is a game for Pope because
Yeah.
he said, I like playing games, or I think he said a line like, I'm not done playing games, I think is what he said.
Right.
It's a way for him to get information.
Yeah. All I was going to say was I think if he did get information, he was just maybe giving a little more sideways information about Maggie or about the community. Just, because how he said that they were at the yellow house, but they were technically in the blue house. On the same road, same street, but in a different house. So maybe he just gave different information, which then corroborates more with Daryl. So like you said, Pope likes to play games. So I think he's still uneasy. I think he believes Leah to a point. Shaw, I hate hearing the name Shaw. I think Pope believes Leah to a point, but he's testing Leah and testing Daryl at the same time because of the relationship that they had. And Leah left the Reapers and then met this guy because the Pope knows all about it. So she's been open with it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a test for Daryl as well as Leah. Probably more for Leah, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Pope could just kill Daryl, and he'd still have to deal with Leah. It's what an episode, guys.
Amazing.
That was awesome, and
it was awesome.
We're only 2 episodes away, and I think that this is gonna get crazy.
This part A is gonna get crazy.
This next episode.
Woo! I know. Yeah. Stay tuned, guys. We also have a. If you guys haven't seen it, you guys might see it already. So never mind. Scratch that. So stay tuned. Episode 7 is going to be sweet, and then we have the finale coming up here soon, and then taking quite a bit of a break until 2022 when Part B comes back. So let us know what you thought of Episode 6. Leave your comments below. Smash the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. I'm Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation.
We're out.